So I want to start at a very basic level. And to me, the important question is, what does a product manager really do? And when I think about what a product manager does to me, is they're identifying customer needs. And again, that sounds really simple, and we'll spend a little bit of time on that to see what that means for us. What their business objectives are, and what features that they need to build to meet those capabilities. And then the product manager really goes further to say what does success look like. And the last piece is very important, is they have to rally the team around them to turn that vision into reality. Now, that sounds really interesting, and this is what we expect most product managers to be doing. Then the question is, what about the best product managers? In all our endeavors in everyday life, we're talking about how do we do a job and how do we do it really well. So to me, the best product managers are visionaries. You're really not coming into the world and saying, okay, let me take an existing product and let me figure out how to copy it the best. Or let me take a simple problem and how to solve it at best. And the product management is about solving problems at scale. And as a visionary, you're really driving the vision of the product, and you're leading your teams to deliver on those goals. And that becomes really important. So you're laying out a vision and saying, here is how I'm going to deliver on that vision. And along the way, there are a lot of bumps. Along the way, there are a lot of obstacles you run into, a lot of challenges you will run into, both market conditions, non-market conditions, your own teams and whatnot. And that's what will really make you a really good product manager. And the best ones are really who are leading from the front. And regardless of your situation, as a product manager, I would expect that we are setting strategy. We are evaluating ideas. And evaluating ideas is independent of where the ideas come from. I think as product managers, many times we get hung up on, oh, are those ideas mine? Am I the ones who is creating those ideas? And the notion here is, no, you don't have to be coming up with the original ideas. The ideas can be anybody's, including yours. The goal is, are you helping evaluate those ideas, and are you determining the merit of it? Are you being objective about it? And then using those, you're defining the product. And product means different things to different people. And that's something which I want to cover a little bit as well. To me, a product is not things that you're building for one customer at a time. When you're building things for one customer at a time, that is custom development. There is a time and place for that. It's a very important aspect. And I suspect many of you have spent a lot of time in your careers building custom products, which are highly impactful, which are very important for a customer. In some cases, it's portable. You can build it for one customer and take it to other customers as well. But in this case, it's about, can you build it once? Can you deploy it multiple times? And a lot of that comes from your ability to effectively prioritize. So you're solving for a particular problem. Now, what capabilities does that product need to have? And that's where a lot of your skill would come in terms of, here is what I'm doing, here's what I'm building, and here's what I'm prioritizing. Here's what to build, here's what not to build. And we'll talk about strategy a little bit as well. When I went to school, one of my professors was a renowned strategy professor. And one of the key ideas he came to the table with is, strategy is not about what you can do. Strategy is about what not to do, because you can do so many things. Now, when you think about an idea and a product, you are considering the scope of that product. You can do so many things with that product. The question is, what do you prioritize to say, here are the things we must do, here are the things we must not do. So the must not do is a very important part of being a product manager, of here are the things I would not focus on. So keep that in mind as we go through this conversation. That will become important. And as we keep looking at the universe, so I get this question a lot. As a product manager, how do you work with different teams? Now, when you think about different teams, you have UX, you have the technology teams. When I say technology teams, think about your engineering teams, your professional services teams, your implementation teams, and the business. And as a product manager, you are really operating at the intersection of those three. Now, if you think about what are you visionary on? What ideas are you prioritizing? In the end, we are talking about, as PMs, talking about solving business problems. When you're looking at solving business problems, you got to understand the business. So spending time in the circle there would be very, very important. Now, this diagram, again, if you Google it, and you will find many variations of this. And one of the variations would be, oh, this doesn't work. And I'll tell you now from my personal experience, this is an interesting paradox many, many times. And how well does this work depends on your ability to take this and apply it. Again, as I said earlier, one size will not fit all. So you'll have to figure out how best to use it. But really, the business world is very, very important. If you don't understand what problems you're solving, regardless of how well you do these two, will be interesting but not very useful. Understanding the UX becomes very, very important because one of the things we will talk about in a few minutes is user experience. What are customer expectations? And if you don't meet that well, you can have a really interesting idea to solve a business problem, but you will not be able to meet the customer needs because the customer needs are evolving. And one thing we'll talk about as customers is, as users, think of yourself. Think of yourself, now you have multiple hats you can put on. You're an employee at a company, or you are a self-employed entrepreneur, or you're on your own. You're also a consumer. You go to buy coffee every day, or whatever is your drink of choice. You go to your grocery, you travel, you do things as an individual and as an employee at a company or as a business consumer. Now, are the expectations really different? And what I want to emphasize on is the expectations are not very different whether you are a consumer or an enterprise customer. And last but not the least here is the tech world is you have to make sure your technology is going to enable it. So you're working with the engineering teams, determining what is feasible, pushing the boundaries on what is feasible. So again, don't take, oh, this is all we can do and this is the best we can do. There's always more to it. But looking at, here are more things you could be doing. So that's something which is really important.